Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Aini Farah binti Hairuzaki. In this video, I will explain to you about our case study, which is rated training program. Okay, rated training program is one of the tool that allows managers or supervisor to implement the performance management system effectively and efficiently. Okay, according to the Herman Alginis, performance appraisal is the systematic description of an employee's strength and weakness. In this process, managers need to assess on how well their employees do their job. Okay, the assessment should be covered in all aspects. For an example, employees' behavior and the achievement that employees get by using their knowledge, skills and ability. So it is important for a manager to deciding what is the best way in gathering all the performance management information. However, no matter how good a manager gives emphasis on gathering the performance information, they will surely make mistakes, either intentionally or unintentionally. In this assignment, we explain more in detail about how important it is for an organization to give a training to the manager or rater to minimize the bias or preventing the rating distortion. Okay, the training program should cover on the 7 content. The first one is the reason on why we need implementing the performance management system. The second one is how to identify and rank job activities. The third one is the skills that are needed to fill out the appraisal form. What is the best skill in observing, recording and measuring. Okay, the fourth one is the information about appraisal form and system mechanics. The fifth is steps in minimizing rating error. The next one is what is the best way to conduct the interview with employees and what skills are needed to train, counsel and coach the employees. Okay, as we all know, people are complex. Good ratings are those that can show the differences between people. If they fail in this area, that means they are not good in doing their job. Better ratings can give more values in the assessment. Helps organizing your reports and can give benefits for your organization in the future.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Haikal bin Abdul Zubia and I'm going to explain firstly about the case summary. So this case is about a group of cohorts, mainly Jane Maitland, Bob Rick and Josh Malloy. Jane is the first member of the cohort to get promoted and enter supervisory position. There is 11 employees that report to Jane and are members of the 2000 cohorts. Bob and Josh respect Jane's abilities and also have affection for her. Josh, Jane and Bob are really close and they consider attending classes to get a master's degree in human resource management. Since Jane is in the supervisory position, she has to complete the annual appraisal form for her staff as directed by the management of the company. So in this type of situation, Jane will make intentional and unintentional rating errors caused by Jane towards either Bob or Josh.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Shafiq and today I will discuss about the intentional and unintentional factors that may cause Jane to distort her rating of Bart and George. So for intentional error, I have focused on two factors, which is leniency error and central tendency bias. For leniency error, it is about the tendency to rate all employees at the positive end of the scale or at the low end of the scale, regardless of the performance. So this might happen to Jane because both of them, all three of them are friends, and to ensure Bob and Josh getting a good performance review, she might intentionally put both of them in the good end, at the positive end of the scale, due to the camaraderie and loyalty that she might felt for both George and Barb. So the next is about central tendency bias. Central tendency bias happens when managers want to avoid making extreme judgment of the employee performance, resulting in all employees in the middle part of the scale without any consideration of the actual performance. For Jane's case, she might put both Barb and George in the middle of the scale because she doesn't want to jeopardize her friendship with both of them. Imagine if Bob has a good month and George doesn't, and if she put them accurately, one of them might feel disheartened or offended. So to avoid that, Jane might have put both of them in the middle of the pack so that both of them are not offended since they are on the same level essentially. So now we're going to go to intentional factors, which is halo effect, first impression, and similar to me bias. For halo effect, it is about the overall positive or negative impression of an individual employee that leads to the rating same across all rating dimensions. This might happen because Jane has known Bob and George like personally. They have been friends, and Bob and George has been helping her throughout her career, and she might deem them both good people. So she unintentionally put a more positive rating to both of them, not because of the performance, because of that experience. Next is about first impression. First impression happen when initially observed behavior of others are known or believed to be consistent over time. Formation of the trait inference has been observed to be more likely, which means what we see the first time, like Jane has known Bob and Josh for quite some time, and ever since they knew each other, they have been friends, which means Jane have a good first impression of both Barb and Josh. This might persuade her to give a little bit more positive rating towards Barb and George because of her first impression of them, not because of actual performance but the first impression. The next is the last but not least, similar to me bias. This is basically the shared experience that they have together. Since they have known each other since 2000, they have been friends and they have went through the same hurdle and obstacle together. Since Jane have to rate both of her friends, she deemed both of them are similar to her and hence giving them the benefit of the doubt and a more positive rating. So that's all for me. Thank you.
I'm gonna explain about the training programs. We suggested 3 training programs, and we use the mainly rater training programs. So rater training programs, it includes information which shows how the system works. It shows how the appraisal system works. So it involves identifying, observing, recording, and evaluating. So it is detailed and deeper in the appraisal system. And rater training programs also shows ways how to interact with employees. So we choose 3 types of training programs. Firstly is the rater error training, RET. So rater error training goals is it can help make raters aware of types of rating errors they are likely to miss. Secondly is it helps raters minimize errors and increasing rating accuracy. Thirdly is it involves intentional and unintentional rating errors, which we think is suitable for the situation which there is an intentional and unintentional rating errors may occur. Okay, so secondly is frame of reference training, FOR. The goal is to help raters develop common frame of reference, which involves observing performance and evaluating the performance. Raters can provide consistent and produce more accurate ratings. This type of training program can make the raters help employees design effective development plans. Okay, so we go to the last training program, and the third, which is behavioral observation training, or BO. Okay, the goal of BO is it can minimize unintentional rating errors which has occurred in the situation, and secondly is improving rater skills by focusing on how raters observe performance, store information about performance, record information about performance, and use information about the performance.
Rater error training, RET. This program can help the increasing of rating by making the raters aware of all the unintentional errors that the rater is likely to make when the assessment took place. Okay, in this program, they will be trained with scenarios on manually or by the videos. Okay. Then they need to view or review all the errors that contain in the scenarios. They will be given the opportunity to discuss on what is the action they will make if the situation is happen to them. From there, the trainer will evaluate it and whether their approach contains errors or not. Then the trainer will explain why the errors took place, which specific errors were made, and what is the right ways to overcome the error. Okay, in Jen's cases, the probability for Jen to do a leniency error is high. This is because Jen may not want her friendship with Bob and George fall apart due to this assessment. So she wants to avoid a confrontation that might be happen if she gives poor ratings to her friends. As we know, Jen is very cozy with Bob and George. This can be seen through when they often do outdoor activities together. In fact, they also attend training, receive a graduate's hour, and attending evening class for a master degree together. There is a research that state that people will have more fun if they hang out with someone when they have a lot in common. This can lead a similar to me error happen. So it is important for Jane to realize all the errors that she might do. The sooner she realizes the problem, the faster Jane can make the corrective action. It is better to correct the problem and prevent them from turning them into the huge problem that is going to be difficult to solve. Okay. This training also can educate Jen's personality and attitudes becoming better. She will gain the respect not only from Bob and George but from all of her subordinates.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azizuddin Mibakri, and today I will talk about second training method that has been used by Jane that we suggested to Jane. So the training method is frame of reference. And this type of training program that can help Jane to minimize rating error and the factor that have been through by Jane. As we know that Jane is having trouble doing job evaluation on Bob and Josh because they are best friends. Right. Okay, basically this training provided to those responsible for employee evaluation with the aim of improving the accuracy of their performance ratings. It involved providing raters with a common reference standard to be used in performing evaluation and practice in identifying good, average and poor performance of their employee employee as defined by their company standard. Okay. Okay, the second slide is about frame of reference training goal. Okay, the first is as a reaction to the consistent result of rater error training. Sorry. Okay, this rater error training require raters to recognize leniency, halo, and central tendency error and avoid making this error in the future rating. However, rater error training result in fewer leniency and halo error. It inadvertently lowered level of rating accuracy. Okay, second is for training involve matching rates behavior to the appropriate performance dimension and correctly judging the effectiveness of this behavior. Okay, the ultimate goal for frame of reference training is to train rater to share and use common conceptualization of performance when providing their ratings. This training will conclude for better rater provide consistency and resulted for more accurate rating. Okay, the third goal is research on frame of reference training has focused on application of FOR training method for use in the training assessment center, assessor in the hope of improving their development plans. The primary evidence pointed to FOR research in support of this model has been based on analysis of recall performance information. Typically, participants are asked to recall as many behavior as they can remember after having watched a number of simulation of rating performance. This training encourages raters to help employees design effective development plans for future useness. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next, we suggest Jane to attend behavioral observation training program. This is because this training program is a type of program that have been implemented to minimize unintentional rating error. The purpose of this training program is to provide information for practitioners using observation for special education evaluation, including initial and evaluation, functional behavior assessment, monitoring individual education program, and behavior intervention plans programs. This training program will train the raters to focus more on observe, store, recall, and use information of performance. This behavior observation training program also will increase the observation skill of Janes in observe their subordinates. Next, to improve the detection, perception, and recall of performance. Why I say so? This is because this training program allows the raters to observe their subordinate by looking at the actual behavior that's shown by employee when they're doing their job. So, when the raters conducting performance appraisal, the raters are accurately observing work behavior and maintaining specific memories of employees' work behavior. This this will help the raters to focus more on the assessment of perceived rather than assessment by itself. Next, this training program will help the raters in recording a pre-established number of behavior on each performance. This is because this training program involves showing rater on how to use observational aids such as notes and diaries. These observational acts help directors in increasing the sample of incidents observed and recorded during the specific time period. So, these notes and diaries will serve as a memories aid to the raters when they filling out evaluation form. By looking at this reference, they will help the raters in avoiding them from involved in destroyed due to the factor of social contact such as friendship bias. Last but not least, in the study of female moths and their friends, they have found that behavior observation training record the moderate to large effect in improving rating accuracy. Um, this is because behavior event can be thought of as a trigger or movement within the scenario associated with target skill, thus providing an opportunity for the raters to assess that skill. Behavior observation training consists of orienting the raters to anticipate assessment event in the stimulation scenario in which key behavior be demonstrated. Will be demonstrated. This is mean that rater will have a clear description what they need to evaluate. So that's all why I say why I suggest students to attend the behavioral observation trainings. Rating behavior are influenced by two factors, which is motivate to provide accurate rating and the motivation to distort rating. These motivation are determined by whether the rater expect positive and negative consequences of accurate rating, or by whether the probability of receiving this reward and punishment of experiencing such consequence in providing rating. Raters will possibly make a mistake when evaluating their subordinate. Because of these things, rater needs to attend an accurate training programs to avoid them and teach them on evaluating performance of their employees. However, all the training programs have overall objective of providing raters with tools that will allow them to implement the performance management system effectively and efficiently. To get an effective result, the raters have to attend several training programs. This is because every training program has their own objective and focus. In order to choose which training program needs to be attended, we need to ask how can training program help mitigate the reasons causing intention rating and unintention rating. Okay, lastly, choosing the accurate training program will influence the rater in making the right assessment of for their employees. This also we contribute to successful of the company. So that's all from us. Thank you, and thank you for lend me your ears.